What's good, King Gonda? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another YouTube collaboration. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And this pretty young lady that you guys are seeing right now is a really talented YouTuber, makes really good content. One of the better YouTubers here in the space. If you look at her channel, you'll see why. She has really good content strategy, an excellent creator here on the space. I'll let her introduce her and her channel. Go ahead.
Hi, King and the fans. How are you guys doing? My name is Binta, also known as Timeless Treasure here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I am a Gambian content creator, and today I'm here to talk to you guys. And yeah, I do a lot of things on my platform. I talk about Gambian issues, and I talk about diasporans and continentals coming together, and some of the issues that we Africans face in the diaspora as well. So make sure you guys check out my channel and do hit the subscribe button. Thank you.
All right, and Sammy's Treasure is, like I said, an excellent creator. You'll be hearing a lot more for her in this space, and we had a lot of things we wanted to talk about today. We talked about some things previously, but I said, what should we talk about? And we want to talk about because Gambia is now trending, not only from African American creators. You have the Bag family that's there. You have Blacksit from the UK. You have the Happy Companion, that brother's there, and other people from other parts of the diaspora. You have some people from Jamaica, the Caribbean, going to Gambia. Mm-hmm. And you wanted to talk about that people might have too high of expectations when returning or going to Gambia. Why are we talking about that today?
So, first of all, let me thank you for inviting me on your platform today. It's a big platform, and you did not look at how small of my channel is, and you decided to invite me here. I really appreciate that. And I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to Gambia and, eventually are going to come back, because I feel like they have not got things together for themselves to be able to move to Africa. Like you said, there's a lot of African Americans who are in Gambia who are doing really, really, really good for themselves. You mentioned a couple of names here, which I agree with, and I have never seen them complain about anything in Africa, though it's not a perfect place. We have our ups and downs as well. But I have also seen a couple of people who are really struggling in Africa. And I just want to say, I feel like people are moving to Africa, or Gambia to be specific, with a lot of expectations, and high expectations for that matter. And that's why when they go to Gambia, they feel like it is trash, or some other people have lied to them. Because I've seen a lot of people saying that why ain't diasporans talking about all these things, especially if I make videos about Gambia or some other Gambians make videos about Gambia. I see a lot of comments saying, how comes our brothers and sisters are not talking about, are they scared? But I actually think that they're not scared to talk about some of the things, because some things are true, but you are the one that is not making enough research. Thereby going to Gambia, I believe a lot of people are following the trend as well, because Gambia is, on the trend right now. Everybody wants to go there because every time you make a video about Gambia, you get a lot of views. Every time you mention Gambia in your title, you get a lot of views. So everybody's clicking on it and they want to go to Gambia. So the problem is people go to Gambia and they're not ready to be in Gambia financially, okay? And you going to Gambia, you need a lot of money. Even I, as a Gambian, I need a lot of money, because everything in Gambia works with money. Number one, we use credit cards here in the West, and we cannot use our credit card in the Gambia. I have seen somebody who asked, why can't we use credit cards in Gambia or in Africa? It is so, old school. We need to start using credit cards. But so unfortunately, you're not able to use it there. So be ready to have money. I don't know if you're gonna borrow it, which I'm not gonna advise you, but be ready to have money. Because when you go to Gambia, number one, it may sound cheap to you, or people may tell you it's cheap, but it's not as cheap as some people are expecting, okay? I've seen people, or heard of people, who have rent studio rooms for over $200. And that is a lot of money. So if you're gonna stay for 2 months, or a month, and you have to pay $200 every month, by the time the month ends, that's how much? every day. By the time the month end, that's a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be ready for it. And not just that, but you have to pay for every single thing that you're going to use in Gambia. You get a house, sometimes you have to pay for your water and you have to pay for your electric at the same time. So that may not be included in your rent. To some people, it may be included, but to a lot, it may not be included. So you have to pay for it. Food also can be a little expensive, especially if you used to eating outside and you're not cooking by yourself. Us Gambians, it's not expensive because we cook every single day. So we can manage. But if you're going out to eat, Gambia is very expensive to eat outside. So I feel like a lot of diasporans are expecting that Gambia is so cheap
Mm-hmm.
to the extent that they think they could go with $1,000 and live for 2 months and come
Mm-hmm.
back. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what I want to say is that it is possible. You can get like a cheap place to live, and you have to also cut down how you eat or how you spend in Gambia going to places, which I don't
Mm-hmm.
think you want, because you want to go and experience a lot of things. Okay, you want to go to a lot of places. So definitely you're going to need to use a lot of money everywhere you go. So I feel like they think it's so cheap. They think they can go with $1,000, which is not possible. If
Mm-hmm.
you go with $1,000 or even $2,000, sometimes you have to limit yourself to a lot of things to be able to make it through the 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
You have to cut down so many things. You have to be one of those people who are going to turn off their lights so that the cash power doesn't finish early. you know
No, I
and
understand.
coming
Yeah.
from the diaspora, we cannot do that. I
Right.
have been here for like almost 9 years now, and I'm already thinking, if I go and then the light goes off, what am I going to do? Because it's so hot. And I'm used to all these fancy things in the West now, not because I'm not being proud. And if I go and I start complaining, it's not like I'm proud, but I have changed environment for such a long time. It's been a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years. So it's normal for my body to get used to all the
Mm-hmm.
fancy things that I get in the West. So if I go, it'll be kind of like uncomfortable a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm expecting it. I know
Mm-hmm.
it happens because I have
Mm-hmm.
gone through it. I was born and raised in it. So it's not going to be too much of a hassle for me. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like diasporans are having hassle because they're not born and raised there. And secondly, they're going broke. Makes it worse.
Mm-hmm. Let me kind of ask you this, because you mentioned earlier that when you put the Gambia in because I was here on YouTube when it wasn't so popular for people to go to the Gambia,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing that was ringing was Ghana. It's Ghana, 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 Ghana. Now the Gambia, and Tanzania, these places are getting bigger, and I think the Gambia gets a lot more traction now. Even I might even think even more than Ghana in certain places. Why are people so attracted to the Gambia as opposed to somewhere like Senegal? Or why is the Gambia so attractive for the diaspora?
Um, the one reason why I think Gambia is so diasporans are so attracted to the Gambia is the cost of living. I talked about how expensive it can be for you, even though you might think it's cheap. But also, it is very cheap compared to Ghana, Senegal, Nigeria, and other African countries. Okay, Gambia is considered very, very cheap compared to those countries. I have been to Senegal before, and just by going to the market and getting my own food, or shopping for daily food, I know how expensive it is, because I will compare it to the Gambia. I'm like, oh, these things are expensive here. And then accommodation wise, like house wise, Senegal is like twice or three times expensive than Gambia. So I feel like the cost of living also is like pushing people to leave, because the dollar would go a long way for you if
Mm-hmm.
you are really financially ready for it. It'll go a
Okay.
long way compared to Ghana and Senegal.
Okay. Let me kind of talk about that, because you did hint at the fact that a lot of people from the diaspora are not financially ready to go to Gambia, and obviously we have in the repat space where a lot of YouTubers, regardless of where they are, a lot of people are, I see in comments, they're sick of black YouTubers, whether it be Tanzania, Gambia, Ghana, this begging for donations now, GoFundMe's and things. You hear a lot of people saying that about this space and stuff like that, and that is common now. But you know, people, what I kind of can figure out is people haven't really made a really good plan for how they're going to make money. And you made the case that if you have $2,000, you're not in New York anymore or Baltimore anymore, where you have a lot of jobs and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to the Gambia to try to create a job, right? How hard, you've been out of the Gambia for 9 years, but how hard is it to create an income for yourself in a small country like Gambia that's, agricultural based, for a person that is going to live there and support themselves? How hard is it to create a business in the Gambia?
Creating a business in the Gambia is not hard, but I don't know if, depending on what you want to go into, if it's the right market for you. Because Gambia is not one of those countries that are big and rich. Like Nigeria, for example, is a big country and they have a lot of rich people, even though they are like majority is poor, but they have a lot of rich people. So the market is there. But Gambia, we have rich people, but it's not like a lot of rich people. It's very like a minute of the population that have a bit of money. So that's why you see Gambians do travel a lot, because they need to, go out and, find money and bring back home. But so if you're creating a job in Gambia, I would say create something that you think is lacking and there is a demand for it. So if you have something that there's a demand for it and there's nobody doing it, or there's not a lot of people doing it, definitely your business will thrive. But if you create something that is in high demand, that is in less demand and people don't have money to buy it, because Gambians don't have a lot of money, your business is not going to work. It's not going to work. So it's not one of those countries that you can easily go and be like, oh, I need to create this business because, I know people are going to buy it. People are not that rich in Gambia. Mm-hmm. They're not that rich. So if you're getting a business, go and ask questions, mm-hmm. Look for what people need and what they don't have, but they need it. That way you can create that type of business and it can be an income for you.
Now let's kind of go back to people needing money, right? Because I was stuck. I won't call it stuck, but I think when you started watching this channel, I was living in Kampala, Uganda for about a year. And, thank God that we were able to, still keep the business moving and earn and do pretty good. But what you've been talking about is you need a lot of money to live in Africa. Mm-hmm. Not only to support yourself, but what if you have this business that you want to do? Because obviously there's no job there unless you might be, let's say if you have an American online business that you already have started and you're in the Gambia and you already have, some funds that cover you. There's some people that are retired from the military, they get a certain pension. All right, so that's different. But let's say if you're a young person, somebody that's 40 and under, and you're looking to go to the Gambia and you want to reestablish your life, you say that you're not financially ready. Knowing what you know now, living in America, how much money on average, you can give us a range, do you think a person should need to cover for how much longer time plus starting a business if you really want to move to the Gambia? How much money do you think a person really should have?
Okay, for a young person who wants to move to the Gambia, start a business and live there for quite some time, I would say, okay, is this only business-wise or like including your own expenses, housing, and everything. Also your business?
Everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for everything, I would say having a house of your own, having a car, and putting all those expenses on the side, then starting a business, I would say you would need close to almost 100,000 because you need to build a house. And the thing in Gambia is that land is cheap, but house materials are expensive because they get imported. Gambians don't make things like that, so things are very expensive. So building a home costs you 3-4 times what your land costs. So land is cheap. Now you go to the car. You need a car. Now you go to your everyday living expenses. So by the time people are already building houses for like I would say 60,000, 50,000 dollars. So you need an extra almost another 50 or 40,000 to start a very good business where you can hire people, be able to pay them. Now remember, if you start a business, like you don't just the business don't just skyrocket in profit like that. So
Right.
in the beginning you may have a lot of losses, but as you go, the business is going to pick up and then you're going to make money. So you have to consider all those things. If you want to start a very small business maybe and you have only 20, 15,000, then fine, but you're going to start very, very small. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at the diasporans, I feel like they're not like the type of people that just want to start all those petty small businesses. They're looking, they're aiming high, but the money is not there to tackle those type of businesses. So don't let nobody fool you about taking 10,000 and creating a very big business out of it. Like you need a lot of money to be able to create a good and a big business in the Gambia.
When I had a series, because on my pre-recorded content, I don't curse, but you have been lucky enough to see my live streams.
I do.
Where all I do is curse, and but to be fair, I was trying to tell people that, to do things, get a business license in Uganda, Kenya, to do it the right way, you need $100,000. People really came for me.
See, I never heard you say that. Maybe I didn't watch that video, but see, I just said 100,000.
Yeah.
To have a good business and have a place of your own, be financially independent. You need close to $100,000.
$100,000. I said that, and these Negroes came for me in the comment section. It was coming for me. And then I think while we were talking before, you made the point that people will say, well, other immigrants, Africans can come to America and not have a lot of money. Well, why can't we come to Africa and don't have a lot of money? And I hear the other argument, well, we're originally from Africa. It's our right to be there. No amount of money should stop us from being there. And I was saying, well, that's a different concept. I mean, whether you want to debate whether you should get citizenship in Africa, I'm not here for that argument. But for the fact is that nobody's going to just give you money or support you. That's the thing. Why do you think so many people from the diaspora, they kind of want to go back to Africa and completely ignore the fact that you need money? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. It's kind of like I think people are just being careless, and that's just what I'm gonna say. I'm sorry, but people are just being careless because you cannot go to Africa with no money. It's like I know that Africans are coming to the diaspora and they're not coming with money because they know they can find opportunities here. That's why they're coming. If at all there were those opportunities in Africa, there were those jobs ready for them to take, they would not have come to the diaspora. At least most of them, I would say 90% of Africans that come to the diaspora come because they're here to, find a job and make money and go back home, even though they end up getting stuck in the diaspora for some reason. But you go into Africa and you don't want to take money, but you were talking about that. So why can you guys come to the diaspora with no money, but we can't go? It's for your own good, okay? Because number one, if you go, who's gonna feed you? A country like Gambia, yes, we are very good at that. We love, foreigners, we love strangers, we love, people that are new to the country. They will feed you every day. But how comfortable are you going to be for somebody to feed you every day just because you're broke? And where are you gonna live? The government cannot give you a job, so you're not going to the Gambia or Africa to find a job. You are going to create a job. So that's what people have to understand. And you need an income coming in every time so that you can sustain yourself. So you're not going because you're expecting that you're going to find a job there. And secondly, I know that in the diaspora, a lot of us, especially Africans, Black people, everybody in the diaspora in general, most people are used to, if I don't work, sometimes you can have food stamp. In Africa, nobody's going to give you food stamp. Nobody's going to give you money like diaper banks. There are no diaper banks. There are no food stamps. Basically, there is nothing the government can give to the general public. So if you're going and you're not going with money, you're going to be dependent and you're going to turn out to be a beggar. And I see a lot of people begging on the media. And I feel like this is the issue that they're going through. This is the problem they're going through, because they're going there with little money, and high expectations. And before they know, the money is gone. You can go to Africa if you don't have money. Nobody's saying you have to have like thousands of dollars or, millions to go to Africa, because it is also your land. You were taken away from your people, you were separated for a very long time, so you can go. But whilst you're going, we're also talking about your comfort, because you need to be comfortable when you move to the Gambia or you move to Africa. You don't want to go there and live like a poor man. You don't want to live like a poor man. Okay, if you're not living like a poor man in America, why would you want to go to Africa and live like a poor man? You don't want it. So if people are going, they need to consider the comfort that they want for themselves, and not because I'm going, I can go even if I'm broke. Like I said, it is not cheap. So if you let people in social media fool you by telling you to come, or it's so cheap here, you can do this, you can do that, it's not that cheap, because they're telling you all these things are cheap, but every single thing that you pick up in Gambia, you have to pay money for it. So even if it's like $3 or $4, you paying $3, $4, before you know, your $1,000 out.
Yep.
For example, us in the diaspora, like continentals in the diaspora that are going just for holidays in the Gambia, most people would take like $3,000, $4,000 for a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that it's different because we have to, there's a lot of expectations that family and friends have from us. We have to give money and all that. But still, even the ones that don't give a lot will complain of how much they spend in Gambia. And these people already have homes. So they don't pay for taxes and they don't pay rent. But they'll spend like $3,000 for a 1 month holiday. So how about you who don't have a house yet? You have to take cabs every day, and you have to pay for your own food. You have to do a lot of things. It's going to cost you a lot of money. And we don't want to turn out to be asking for money on the internet, like I said before. So many people are on the internet, they're asking for, I need this, I need donations for this, I need a donation for that because this happened to me. It's because if you were financially prepared for it, you would not have asked. You would have waited for them to super chat you, or you would have waited for them to, fund your account because they just want to, and not have to ask to get it. I see a lot of people having to ask to get it. That's the problem. That's where you not being financially ready to be in Africa comes in. Because if you have to ask to pay for your rent, if you have to ask for people to feed you, then you need to go back to America and make money and go back, because Gambians can't give you a job.
Right. Let me ask you this, because a lot of people, such as myself, I always say, I've never been to the Gambia before, but people say, well, what do you think about going to the Gambia or Ghana? I would say, I don't know, but I would at least think that you should probably visit first before you make a decision. You're seeing some people, I've seen several YouTubers who have never even visited, and they just get up and they just move, like in the first YouTube, hey family, YouTube video, I'm out here, I moved to Gambia, what's up, support me. I've seen that several times. People have never even been to the Gambia, they just move there. COVID came, and so it was like, I'm going to Tanzania or Gambia. How important for you is visiting the Gambia first and just seeing if you like it? How important would you recommend that for someone, and why?
I would recommend that 100%, because everywhere you going and you deciding to move for good. You're not just going for a specific time. You deciding to move. You need to know if you're gonna like the place. Okay, you need to look at your finances. You need to look at the cost of living. You need to look at the environment, if it's like suitable enough for you as a person, because what I like may not be what you like, you know. And I noticed that a lot of people that move, that are very comfortable in Gambia right now, like the diasporans that move and are comfortable, they have been there at least, you know, twice before they move permanently. And this is one of the reasons they're doing good, because these people, maybe what others care about is not one of their priorities. You know, they're like, I don't care about that. Maybe they don't have roads. I don't care about, you know, roads. I just want to live here in peace. I just want to have my big mansion and my business and be able to employ others. Some people care more about, you know, the life. You know, maybe you're a lively person and you want to have, like, you know, all these fancy areas that you can go to, and you want to have so many things that you may not be able to have in Gambia. So it's important that you compare different African countries and see what each country has to offer, and then you can make your decision. So some people are just, like I said, some people are moving with the trend. A lot of the people going to Gambia, they're just moving with the trend because they see Gambia is like trending right now. People are moving, so you decide, oh, I want to move. And at the end of the day, you move back to America, or some people are going to move back to America in the future. I'm not even going to lie to you. I already see people that are already going to move back to America.
You know, let me talk about this, because you know, you hear about, even in you know, Uganda, because Uganda is, you know, less expensive than, let's say, Kenya, or even less expensive than living in Tanzania. And then when you get to Uganda, and you live in the States now, you know, you can get Amazon same day delivery if you live in the big city. There's Best Buy, you know, there's, you know, Walmart, you know what I mean? And you know, all kind of stores, you know, you can get access to B&H Photo. Then when you go to, you know, Uganda, Gambia, and you're like, oh yeah, where the Walmart? Like, Walmart? Ain't no damn Walmart out here, fool. You're like, really? And that was something for me, like, you know, it's cheap, but, you know, a lot of guys think like, okay, well, it's cheaper. Okay, so that means that electronics are cheaper. And they don't understand that there is no Amazon that ships to, you know, so let's talk about that, because, you know, I had to find a way to get things in, you know, through certain shipping companies. Does Gambia have certain things where, you know, you have certain shipping companies that you can, you know, ship from Gambia to the USA and things like that? Because a lot of African Americans don't know that Best Buy is not in Gambia. You know, Toys R Us, or even though it's closed down, but Amazon doesn't ship to Gambia and things like that. You know, and usually those goods, if you can get them in Gambia, are going to be way more expensive than they are in the States. How important is it for people to bring their own electronics and things like that? How important is that?
Very important, O'Shea, I must say. If you're going to Gambia, like, the smallest thing that you think you need, no matter how small it is, you need to bring it along, because most likely you may not be able to find it there. Or if you find it there, it may be 3 times the price you're supposed to buy it for. So it's important that, like, people bring so many things that they need. I listened to somebody say, even chips, your favorite chips, you should bring it, because you will not find it there probably. And if you find it there, it may be like 3-4 times the price. So it's important that people are bringing their stuff, because like you said, there are no shipping companies that can help you. If you were to ship it through DHL, it'll cost you, like, the last time I shipped through DHL, it was an iPhone, and it cost me almost $200 to ship that iPhone to the Gambia. So, and that's like very lightweight. And so many things that people want to ship may be a bit heavy, you know. Even if it's like maybe a socket, it's very heavy, so it's gonna cost you money to ship it. So it's important that you take a lot of things, or if you know, like, the local shipping companies in America or in Europe, I know a lot of them are in Europe. Europeans, like Gambians in Europe, do ship a lot. So if you're coming from Europe, it's important that you put all your stuff in the container, maybe somebody usually ships a container. You put them there, pay the person, and then they'll get your stuffs to the Gambia, and then you can pick them up when they get there. And if you're in America too, it's the same thing. We have Gambians that do shipping business. You put your stuffs in their containers, and in a barrel, and then you get them to Gambia. It'll cost you less, because I believe the last time I shipped was like about $100 per barrel, and the barrels are very big. They literally take like a lot of items. So these things you may not be able to find in the Gambia. There are no like Amazons, there are no Toys R Us and Kroger, Walmart. Like the biggest supermarket you may find in Walmart, probably your Kroger might be bigger than that supermarket. Basically, Gambia is very small, and we don't have all these big things like Nigeria.
Yeah, where there's like, I know there's shop. At least there was ShopRite in Nigeria. I don't know if there was. Is there ShopRite in Gambia?
ShopRite, no.
I don't think so. Okay, all right. So those are some good tips.
I've not been there, but I talked to some Nigerians. You can find a lot of things that you may find here in America, though, in Nigeria.
Okay.
Because the market is there for it, It's a lot of people, like almost 300 million people. So the market is there.
There are a lot of Nigerians in Gambia too, right?
Stuffs, and you want to sell them, you need to consider what you are shipping as a Gambian, and if people are gonna buy it. Because there's so many Gambians that start business, they ship things in the container, and at the end of the day, so many things are left with you because people are not buying. Because people don't have the money to buy it.
I see. And there's a lot of Nigerians that do business in Gambia, right?
Oh yeah. A lot of Nigerians do business in Gambia, but the business I see Nigerians do is like it thrives a lot. It's more like food. Food is very important. When you go into food business, of course it's gonna go because people want to eat every day, and there's a lot of Nigerians in Gambia. So I think that's why they go into food that much, because they can provide the type of food that Nigerians like, that they're gonna miss, just the same way sometimes we miss certain Gambian foods in the diaspora. So they'll provide those type of food for their people, and the market is there. The Nigerian people are there. They always buy, and some of them will go into businesses that they know Gambians will buy, especially beauty, cosmetics side. Nigerians will do that a lot in Gambia because Gambian ladies like to look nice. So those type of businesses would really, really thrive in Gambia.
Okay. And so I'm not gonna keep you long, but I definitely think that you're a really talented creator. We're talking about that, and so I think for anybody that wants to have a plethora of content from a lot of different versatile spaces, and her experience living in America has been able to give her an advantage, right? Because she can understand both perspectives now. So you really be just really good content, really good streams, really good ideas that I don't really see a lot of people using. I'm actually gonna go over there and steal some of my stuff myself and say it was mine. So I'm gonna steal all of it. Y'all know I'm dusty. So anyways, so go ahead and tell them about what kind of content would they expect on your channel.
Well, on my channel, you would expect a lot of Gambian content, because I like to bring Gambian news for you sometimes, not all of the news. Some news I would like to bring forward and just give opinions on it. And then I like to do discussions between Africans and diasporans sometimes. And then my brothers and sisters love to come on board on my channel for some reason, and I really appreciate that. So, and then I have some Mandinka lessons. Those are the people that want to move to Gambia and then they want to learn how to speak Mandinka. I have that on my channel also. So basically my channel is all about Africans in the diaspora mostly, and that is both continentals and the diaspora, and Africans in the diaspora. So, and then sometimes Gambian news as well, and sometimes I do comment on other African news. So it just depends on what I want to do there. And I have a second channel as well, which is cooking and lifestyle. It's under my channel if you want to check it out.
I'm going to go over there and check. I'm fat, so I'm going to go check it out too. So I really thank you for coming. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
Your post yesterday, like you said, when you were fat. That was like
oh, my main channel.
I'm like, it's not serious.
Oh yeah, I'm always talking trash over there. So I really thank you for coming on. And guys, make sure you go and give her a follow here. And so So basically, check that out. And as you know, keep it real, King Ghana forever. We are out.